Welcome to Amsterdam. This is the central train station. Pretty amazing building. That's an interesting bridge. This is the view from my Airbnb here in Amsterdam. Not bad, especially over here. There's the Rijksmuseum, which I will go to later. Right now I'm going to the Van Gogh Museum. Here's one of the Christmas markets here in Amsterdam. It has an ice skating rink and a bunch of vendors, which I'll go over there after the museum. This is the entrance to it. I think it's in both of these buildings. I was in Amsterdam about 30 years ago, and this is the one thing I didn't do. So the first thing I'm doing when I'm here this time. It's expensive, 24 euros and crowded. But I'm sure it's going to be worth it. A lot of self-portraits. These are all self-portraits. This whole room. This is a very famous painting, The Potato Eaters, that he painted in 1885. Van Gogh did a lot of drawings too. Apparently he did 1,100 drawings, and this museum has 550 of them. This one's called Aguin Get. It's a Paris cafe. It's beautiful. This is a Monet, Tulip Fields near The Hague, painted in 1886. I would have never guessed this was a Van Gogh. It's more of an impressionist painting. But it is. This painting is by Edvard Munch. He's a Norwegian artist. Painted The Scream. I was actually at his museum earlier this year. This one's called Fertility, painted in 1900. The one thing they don't have here is his most famous painting, Starry Night. That's at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. I didn't even know that. In my backyard for so long. That was a really interesting museum. He's a fascinating guy, and some of his paintings are just amazing. I really enjoyed it. It was worth the 24 euros. Spent about 2 hours in there, which is pretty good for me in a museum, an art museum especially. Time to hit up the Christmas market. Heineken. Lots of people here. It's Friday night. This pretty much sums it up. Loves me the glue wine. The Christmas market was okay, not as good as the ones in Germany. Sorry. This is pretty freaking cool. I don't know what it's for, but it's awesome. Good morning. A little rainy here on Saturday morning in Amsterdam. Taking a train to The Hague. So I'm gonna go do a day in The Hague, see what it's all about. Welcome to Den Haag, or as we say in English, The Hague. Took about an hour to get here from Amsterdam, and I'm gonna go find my walking tour. This was built in 1658. It was a place where they brought their butter to make sure it was okay to sell on the market, which was right here, which is now just restaurants. This was built in 1928. It's an original Bauhaus design. It used to be a newspaper building. Now it's just a residence. This is Hague. He's the city mascot from an old comic strip. Art Deco building.
But
this is Art Deco.
The two oldest buildings on this street, the entire city planning has been done.
This is heading into Chinatown.
Houses here are a little bit wider, not the same thing as in Amsterdam.
Yeah, John. We're actually in formerly the heart of
Some were the Jewish people from the Hague who lost their lives in World War II. It was 8,000. They had 10,000 Jews here, and 8,000 were killed by the Nazis. There's a war memorial over there. This is called the New Church.
If you happen to be in a graveyard, yes, right there. That's where we're all headed. But I'm going to talk about those two animals right there.
It's the cultural center. It was built in 2020. This is the main library, and that's City Hall. City Hall was designed by an American architect, and I find it to be very ugly. Inside of City Hall is a huge building. Some sort of concert going on. Apparently Mozart used to live here.
Purposing the building, and we're going to get an annex to Leiden University. So yeah, it's coming soon. I mean, it's the first time I've seen lights in there in 2 decades.
Big indoor shopping area, like the one in Brussels.
Yeah. So yeah, it goes with the season. Sometimes they have a really cool mobile here. Sometimes.
This is inside the Maison de Bonneterie, which is now an H&M.
1913.
This is the old City Hall, a much nicer building.
Which is, I mean, that would imply Catholicism, which is a good.
This is St. James Church, better known as Grote Kerk, which means big church.
Now, and I think he was especially proud of this building, certainly because he put his name on it. It's from 1845. He worked in this building. This is what functioned it before it became Protestant churches.
It's a hidden
there
Catholic
is,
church.
No altar.
It was believed to be Catholic up until 1830.
So it's
That's old. Willem of Orange, who freed the Dutch from the Spanish. This is the royal palace, but the royals don't live here. It's just offices.
Still getting some sun.
That walking tour was top notch. 2.5 hours, really informative, saw a lot of the city. Very good. Heading into their Christmas market. For lunch I got a Flammkuchen, it's got salmon on it, and a Glühwein. Pretty nice Christmas market. It's kind of small, but it's nice. See, not as small as I thought originally. It goes all the way down there. Pretty good size market. Look at a scoop waffle from the Scoop Waffle King. Oh my god, that is so good. It's got caramel in it. Oh, it's so good. They have an Escher museum here. And if you don't know who Escher is, I will show you. But this is the one thing I really wanted to see. Escher lived from 1898 to 1972. These are a couple of self-portraits. This one's called Eight Heads, one of his first works from 1922. This one's called Three Heads from 1955. This museum is housed in the former Queen's summer house. So amazing. These are from the 1930s and they're cut out of wood. amazing room. Look at these chandeliers, umbrella, and a star type thing. Another fascinating museum. I just love his art. You can just sit there and look at it for hours and still not see everything. It's amazing. There's the modern. And there's the old. Came into a bar here that has a bunch of taps. I've got this Goose Island IPA. It's pretty good. Not my favorite. I got them at this first time I've ever seen an ad on stairs. It's actually pretty cool. Really enjoyed my time in The Hague. I know I always say this, but I would like to come back someday. I think there's more to see that I didn't see. But I'm headed back to Amsterdam. Poke bowl for dinner. Eating something a little healthy for a change. Good morning. Back in Amsterdam, spending the day here, kind of tooling around. First thing I'm going to do is see this. This is the Rijksmuseum. Got some amazing works of art in there. I was here once about 30 years ago. Can't wait to see it again. It's got the Night Watching here by Rembrandt, which is my favorite painting. It's right on the canal. There it is. I ran right up here to see it before it got too crowded. That's the Night Watch. It's in a separate glassed off room. It's so amazing. There's a big reproduction in here if people want to get a closer look. It's a huge painting. I mean, it's got to be like 12 feet by 13 feet. I decided to do a guided tour because when it comes to art, I know nothing, Jon Snow. Similar to the Night Watch. The tour was really interesting. It was only an hour, so she could only show us some stuff because there's over 8,000 pieces in here. But she showed us some highlights. It was really, really well done. Do it all in one day. This is a Monet. One of the better ones, I think. I love it. I'm on an Asian kick here in Amsterdam. This is Tankatsu Ramen. This place had really good ramen. Liked it a lot. Incredibly beautiful building. Magna Plaza Shopping Center. This is Dam Square, the main square here in Amsterdam. And this is the Royal Palace. And this is the new church, which is also a museum, but it's 20 euros to get in, and I think that's kind of outrageous.
And here on the right side you will see one of the oldest houses we have here in Amsterdam. It's the house with the wooden shutters in front of the window. An old merchant house from the Renaissance period. And they are really special because there are not many houses saved from the Renaissance period.
These are the oldest houses in Amsterdam. That boat tour was interesting. I enjoyed it, except for these four obnoxious American girls that were sitting a couple of seats behind me that were talking the whole time over the audio, over the captain. It's like, why'd you even bother taking this tour if you're not even going to pay attention to it? They're the kind of people that give bad names to American tourists. But anyway, other than that, it was really good. There's a lot of these tiny little electric cars in Amsterdam. It's just that they're so cool. They fit like everywhere. Good morning. Doing a bike tour of Amsterdam today. Bikes are a big thing here, so it should be a lot of fun. These houses all look like they're lopsided and gonna fall over, but they said it's just because the ground underneath is kind of sandy, but everything is perfectly solid. It's built well. Look at this one, it's about to fall forward. Riding through the Rijksmuseum. I'm sorry, riding through the Rijksmuseum. It's a big bow.
Took over all the Catholic churches of Amsterdam. And so there was no more Catholic churches for the Catholics of Amsterdam to worship in. What would you assume would happen to the Catholics of Amsterdam as war was going on against...
We're going to see a hidden church. Protestant church. And this is a hidden Catholic church. You wouldn't even know it was a church from out here. It's really cool. They converted a house into a church. You wouldn't even know it was a church. They put stained glass on later. This is one of only 2 surviving wooden houses in the city. All the rest have burned down. That's pretty amazing. That was an awesome tour. The guide was so enthusiastic and he knew so much and he's a real history nerd. Made it really enjoyable. Saw a lot of the city that I wouldn't have seen normally. Definitely recommend doing that if you're here in Amsterdam. That Central Station is one of the most beautiful buildings in the city, if not the most beautiful building in the city, I think. This is the Albert Kuip Market. My tour guide told me this is a good place to go for street food, so that's what I'm going for. Starving. Amsterdam's famous for its raw herrings, so that's what I got. That was delicious. Didn't taste like fish really at all. Really good. This is called kibbeling, another Dutch specialty, basically fried fish pieces. Got another stroopwafel. So delicious. It's a really big market. It must be at least 1 kilometer long. The cool thing is they have like pretty much any kind of food you could want, plus, you know, flowers, other stuff that people like to buy. Hello. I'm going to have dinner at a brown bar. Our tour guide said that they're like the Dutch version of an Irish pub, so he recommended one, so I'm gonna go check it out.
Dan kunnen we alvast eerder bellen zijn en dan even met elkaar.
That's the beer I ordered. There it is. It's good. It's citrusy. This place does have an Irish pub. I got the big meatball. Haven't had an Amstel since I've been here, so I had to give one a shot. That's good stuff. That is a relic. I'm at the Amsterdam Light Festival, which is on the Gentleman's Canal. These are actually real aerials covered with lights. This is a radiator on top of a houseboat. It's supposed to help us reflect on our necessity for warmth. Okay. That is really deep, but it's true. Central train station's all lit up. That's pretty awesome. This light right here is called the sun. It's 800 separate light bulbs making that thing. But I saw this on the boat tour yesterday. I didn't know what it was. Now I do. This is actually a Chinese restaurant. It has a really cool sign. This is really cool. It's the Nemo Science Museum. The way it looks is just constantly changing. Light show was interesting, but not as good as the one in Bruges I saw last year. But still, it was fun. Wow, I love Amsterdam. I've been there before, and I'm sure I will be there again. It's just an amazing city. Really like The Hague as well. Now I'm headed to Rotterdam, so I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching the video.